Have you ever noticed how Europe doesn't seem to shout for attention? Compared to the constant noise from other global powers, Europe can feel quiet, but don't mistake that quietness for weakness. It's not about being loud, it's about being consistent. And that consistency is Europe's real superpower. Let's talk about what I mean by loud. I'm talking about the non-stop news cycles, the dramatic policy shifts that feel like they happen overnight, the cultural trends that explode and then vanish just as quickly. It's a culture of hype, of big, flashy announcements. Europe, for the most part, plays a different game. It's a long game built on stability, predictability, and a kind of quiet, relentless progress. This isn't a bug, it's a feature. Think about it from a business perspective. If you're a company looking to invest somewhere for the next 20 or 30 years, where do you go? A place where the rules might change tomorrow, or a place where the legal and economic frameworks are stable and predictable. The European Union, with its massive, integrated single market, offers that stability. Regulations might be complex, sure, but they are transparent and don't change on a whim. This creates an environment where businesses can plan for the long term, confident that the ground won't shift under their feet. This reliability is incredibly attractive, even if it doesn't make headlines every day. It's the slow, steady hum of a well-oiled machine, not the explosive roar of a rocket launch. This consistency extends to diplomacy and global influence too. Europe often leads not through military might or aggressive posturing, but through what's called normative power. It sets global standards. When you hear about regulations for data privacy like GDPR or environmental standards for products, chances are they originated in Brussels. Companies all over the world, from Silicon Valley to Shanghai, have to adapt their products to meet these European standards if they want to access the massive European market. This is a subtle but incredibly powerful form of influence. Europe isn't forcing anyone to do anything. It's just setting the rules of the game for its own turf. But because its turf is so valuable, everyone else ends up playing by those rules. It's influenced by attraction, not by coercion. This is the Brussels effect. Europe writes the rulebook for the world, not by shouting the loudest, but by creating a standard so widely adopted that it becomes the global default. Then there's the quality of life. European countries consistently rank at the top of global lists for things like healthcare, education, work-life balance, and social safety nets. This isn't an accident. It's the result of decades of consistent policy choices and social investment. Things like universal healthcare, paid parental leave, and generous vacation time are not seen as radical ideas but as fundamental parts of a functioning society. This creates a stable, healthy, and educated population, which is the bedrock of a strong economy and a resilient society. This focus on long-term well-being does and generate the same kind of daily drama as political battles or market fluctuations, but its impact is profound and lasting. It's a quiet strength that you can build a life on. Let's look at culture. European culture isn't about the next viral trend, it's about deep, historical roots. Think of the art, the architecture, the food, the languages. These things have been developed and refined over centuries, even millennia. A city like Rome or Paris doesn't need to reinvent itself every decade. Its appeal is timeless, it's a living museum, but also a vibrant, modern place. This deep cultural heritage provides a sense of identity and continuity that is incredibly grounding. It's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and where you come from. This doesn't mean Europe is static. It's constantly evolving, but it does so by integrating the new with the old, rather than just tearing everything down to start over. It's a conversation with history, not a rejection of it. This approach has its critics, of course. Some see this consistency as slowness, this stability as stagnation. They point to bureaucratic red tape, an aging population, and a perceived lack of disruptive innovation. And there's some truth to that. The European model isn't perfect. It can be slow to adapt. The process of getting 27 member states to agree on anything can be painfully drawn out. Compared to the breakneck speed of a tech startup, the wheels of Brussels can seem to grind incredibly slowly. But here's the thing, that slowness is also a source of its strength. It ensures that decisions are carefully considered, that all stakeholders have a voice, and that the final outcome is robust and built to last. It's a feature, not just a bug. It's a system designed for resilience, not just for speed. This is especially visible in moments of crisis. During the financial crisis, the pandemic, or the recent energy crisis, the initial European response often looked slow and disjointed. Commentators were quick to predict the bloc's collapse. And yet, each time, after the initial scramble, the institutions kicked in. Resources were pulled, common solutions were found, and the Union emerged, perhaps a bit bruised, but intact and often more integrated than before. This is the power of consistency. The structures are there, the habits of cooperation are ingrained, and the system is designed to withstand shocks. It doesn't mean it's easy or painless, but it means there's a foundation of reliability to fall back on. So, what's the big takeaway here? In a world that seems to be getting louder, more chaotic, and more short-term focused every single day, there's a profound power in being quiet and consistent. Europe's influence isn't based on momentary hype or loud declarations. It's built on the slow, steady, and often unglamorous work of building stable institutions, setting global standards, investing in its people, and honoring its deep cultural heritage. It's the kind of power that doesn't always make the front page, but it shapes the world we live in every single day. It's the reliable partner, the predictable market, the standard setter. It's the tortoise in a world full of hares. And as the old story goes, we all know who wins that race in the end. It reminds us that real strength isn't about how much noise you make, but about the enduring impact you have. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this perspective interesting, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is Europe's quiet consistency a strength or a weakness in today's world? I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next one.